How's it guys? Daryl here from Manly. Tonight we're doing a spicy ketchup come mild chili sauce. So I thought I'd first have a chat about what I've got on this bench here, and then we can take a look at the process involved. So starting right here with me is a roughly chopped white onion and 5 cloves of minced garlic. Here we have an assortment of chilies. Already rubbed my eye with this crap tonight, so already don't want to do it again. But yeah, be careful with your hands, even though it's mild. It's really something like 10 jalapenos and a couple of non-events. The paprika peppers, which have no heat whatsoever, just a little bit of sweetness. Here we've got about a teaspoon of salt, coarse salt, a teaspoon of coarse black pepper, and chili flakes. But it's to taste, but you can add it. You can carry on adding throughout the process. There's about a teaspoon and a half, maybe 2 teaspoons of coriander, and then a little bit more of maybe about a teaspoon and a half of ginger and cumin. Here we have about half a cup of apple cider vinegar, 3 tomatoes that I'm going to attempt to peel. You know, the boiling water method, but we'll get to that. It's the first time I've ever done that, so we'll give it a go. Here's a large cup of brown sugar. Again, you can change this to taste. If it's too sweet, then try better for next time. I've got tomato paste, 2 50 gram sachets, and a tin of one of our favorite tomato onion relishes that I'm hoping will add additional tomato taste to the overall product. Okay guys, trying to get this up to a bit more vigorous boil on the stove. Just boil it. I've cut a X in it. You may or may not be able to see, but yeah, cut an X in the bottom bit. You boil it for a minute or two, and then you put it in ice water immediately after, and hopefully the skins come off fairly easily. Alright, so we're probably at about a minute and a half or so. I've never done this before, so oh wow, it peels brilliantly into the ice water, as you can see over there. The skin's already coming off quite brilliantly, so that, I must be honest, that definitely looks like it's working quite spectacularly actually. God, I'm quite surprised myself. Okay, so I've just used the same pot that I boiled the tomato story to get rid of the peels, and I put some oil in. You want some oil that can withstand some heat, so ideally something like not a extra virgin olive oil. I don't think. Rather use that afterwards, but yeah, a canola oil or something along those lines would be great for this. So this is the white onion and the 5 cloves of garlic. Again, garlic you can change to to suit your taste. I like it a little garlicky myself. Just keep an eye on this because the garlic will burn quick sticks. And into this, it's the approximately, no idea the weight, but it was 10 jalapenos and about the same for the paprikas. So I'm going in and I'm going to just keep them agitated for a while. I'm just going to try and blend everything together. It will go into the food blender later, but for now it's just sweating it down, getting all the flavors to mingle and get to know each other a little bit better. So it's a mild chili, as probably all of you know who are watching this. It smells lovely. The garlic, the onions, the chili combined, and I've been frying them for a couple of minutes. You're going to have to use some judgment here, depending on how hot you make it. You don't want any of this shit to burn. Well, I don't. I suppose it would be a simple thing to deglaze it. Don't use water. Use something brothy like a mild chicken stock or something like that. I don't add water to my chili sauce at all. I always would use a small amount of stock or the liquid that comes from the veggies that I'm cooking together. So that's that. Yeah, it looks very pretty, Rastafarian red, golden green colors. At this point, I think the onions are starting to become translucent. There's a fair bit of chili vapor coming off here. Kind of does hit you in the feels a little. I'm going to put the various dry components with now, and along with the sugar, and just let that all melt together for a few minutes as well. So this again is the salt, the black pepper, and the chili flakes. It's important to taste this throughout the process. You can add additional spices as you go, and at the end even. It's not a complex thing as far as I'm concerned. It's not sorcery, or just make sure you get all that stuff in there because it's good. You do need to be careful though. The more spice you put in, the more chance of it burning there is, I suppose, and the more chance you're going to have or the more requirement you're going to have of having to deglaze the bottom of the pot. But in any event, so far so good. I've had to throw some chicken broth, chicken stock in here because it is catching at the bottom. And the reason you don't want to use water so much is, I mean, you can probably, but as most of the shit I've seen all over the internet is around building flavor. So you get much more flavor even from some simple chicken stock than you do from a glass of water. Just bear that in mind. It's like it might make all the difference in the long term when you start to taste it. I'm moving through this fairly quickly. It's not a rocket science, and it's not a hell of a complex process. But here goes 100 grams of tomato paste, and based on how this comes out, it's either, as I said at the beginning of this extremely long video, it's either going to be spicy ketchup or just going to be chili sauce. We'll see what happens towards the end. These are largely evolutionary recipes on my part, from my part, and I try and work on them and refine them over time. As I know what I like, try and focus on the direction that I like more than previously, and just like with everything, it all changes over time. The nice thing is it will be able to survive in your fridge for some time after. Once it's all blended together and been bottled, you'll be able to put it in your fridge and it will last for quite some time. It is going to get reduced. It's going to get blended. You won't see the robust chilies as they appear now. They're going to all be zhuzhed together into something that resembles a sauce. Okay, keep tuning, keep watching. Alrighty, as you can see, it's getting a nice consistency, or the sauce component. And now I need to do something to counterbalance the acidity and the sourness of the tomatoes. So here goes the brown sugar. As I mentioned before, change this to suit your requirements. I've got quite a tomato heavy presence here. Today there's 3 separate tomato components, so yeah, just based on the way I like it and my experiences, how much sugar to put in. But you're going to have to constantly be tasting it and seeing if it's something you like, or if you want to tone that down even more. Okay guys, let's have a squeeze. I don't think the sugar's actually cooked yet. It seems to be dissolved. Let's give it a go. The fumes from the chili making my nose. It's a lot warmer than I expected for jalapenos, but I think the sugar will round out quite nicely. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually very good. All right, 3 chopped tomatoes, skinless. I'm lank impressed with how that process of removing the peels was. Freaking stellar. And then finally one of our favorite tomato, onion, garlicky mixed tin things, some sort of sheba sauce, just to add some volume. Now we're just getting to a point where the tomatoes are being cooked. Oh, okay. The chili's playing havoc with my sinuses. It needs a little bit more salt, so gonna get some of that. Just a little bit of coarse sea salt. Of course, the king of spice, black pepper. Just something about black pepper, especially with a tomato base. That's magnificent. Okay. I haven't forgot the vinegar, the apple cider, but I'll only put that in once we get to the blending stage. Just adds the component of tartness, as well as it's quite a good preservative. The more acidic your sauce, the longer you can expect it to last on the shelf or in your fridge. So that looks nice. It's nice and thick. I'm going to let it cook down. Going to give it a few minutes, and then we'll be back again just to check on it in maybe 5 to 10 minutes or so. Okay, take a look. You'll see it's thickened up quite significantly. The veggies have largely become mushy, and that's what we want. Everything's cooked. I've tasted it. Quite a nice smell of ginger in the air. And what remains to be done, 2 things. This has got to go in here, and then I'm going to blend it up, and quite coarsely, but still fairly fine. I'll add some vinegar to that. That will be the last process, because that'll help to preserve it. And then at some point we're going to bottle it. So stay tuned. What is important, if you don't use one of those stick blenders and you use a blender like this, is I can't overstate this. This has to cool the fuck down. If you put this in and you turn it on, it's going to explode all over your ceiling. So wait for this to cool right down. Take it off the heat. Obviously, if needs to be, take it out of the pot. Get it cool down to room temperature before you put it in. Well, you can put it in here, but don't put this thing on while it's still hot. Otherwise, it's going to be a catastrophe. Hey guys, about 2 hours has passed. We're ready to go. You can have a look. See, it's thickened up quite nicely. It's tastes amazing. Let me tell you that it really does. It tastes great. I'm about to blend it. I'm gonna add the cider vinegar, and I'll start it on the odd pulse or 2, and then I'll do it on the permanent speed setting until I see it's at a consistency that I like. I'll possibly upside down. Good lord! I probably should have put it on first, but anyway, here we go. Oh, what's going on? look, see what it's like. I know, because I've tasted it, that it's really good. It's bloody delicious, even. Seems like it's quite nice and chunky. I may have to blitz it a little bit more. I'm really pleased. Bloody delicious. I'm going to give it a little bit longer, maybe 30 seconds. Oops, that shot everywhere. The bloody noisy process. It's a noisy process. Here we go. That should do it. It's a bit of a messy process, as you can see, but here we are. We're done, and I'm just going to get some clean jars, and then I'll pour it in and can think about how I'm going to store it and how I'm going to keep it, because I really want to use this. It certainly is a tomato sauce, maybe perhaps not quite a ketchup, but it's certainly spicy tomato sauce and tomato goodness. Guys, thanks for watching. Please give us a subscribe or like if you liked the video. As you can see, it made quite a quantity of sauce, and it'll last me quite a while. I'll probably end up giving one or two away as gifts, as I normally do. But yeah, if you'd like to see anything in particular, please pop me a comment in the comment section on YouTube. And once again, thanks for watching, Manually.